In FPS, one method of maintaining portions of old forest within forest estates is to define ages and set minimum portions of the estate as old forest. In this tutorial, we will have a look at how to achieve this result by setting several stage constraints. First, we will create a new rule set and call it minimum old serial. We will then copy our harvest flow targets from our distance reserve adjacency rule set and paste them into our new rule set. The minimum and maximum harvest ages should be 50 and 99 years, so let's have a look again at our stand groups where we earlier changed those ages. So you see here in this mask that we changed it to 180 years in an earlier tutorial, and we have to make sure that again our minimum age is 50 and our maximum age 999 years for all the stand groups that we made changes to. We also have to double check our harvest priority. To do so, we go to the Parameters tab at our new rule set and see whether or not we have selected distance as harvest priority. Last but not least, we have to update the no harvest constraint set on our reserve zone. To do so, we go to our zones, select the reserve zone, and make sure that the according constraint set is selected. Additionally, we also have to update the adjacency constraint set on our axis unit 1. And to do this, once again, we go to our axis units, select axis unit 1, and make sure that the according constraint set is applied here as well. Now we can get started creating our new constraint set, and we will do so by following the steps that we've already learned in tutorial number 3. We open File and select New from our top menu, and then we select Constraint Set from the appearing window. We will name our new constraint set Minimum Old Serial. In our constraint set window, we will choose the Old Serial tab and then check the Cover 1 box. The minimum age in years and minimum percentage in coverage, as well as older boxes, should now become highlighted. Enter a minimum age of 180 years and a minimum percent coverage of 20%. Now you can accept the changes to your new constraint set by closing the according window and then selecting Yes. Our next step will be to actually apply our new constraint set. In this tutorial, we decide to apply the constraint set to our stand group 1, Fur. So let's go to stand group 1, open it, and select the according constraint set. Once again, you add a new line by pressing Ctrl and the arrow down button together, and then from the list that appears, you select Minimum Old Serial. You close the window to accept the changes, and you can see in your stand groups that constraint set 3 is now applied to stand group Fur. Let's carry out a run with our newly applied constraint set. Let's have a look at how the software actually interpreted our constraint of always keeping a specific area of the forest in the age class 180 years and older. To do so, we open the Viewer window, we select Attribute Age to be displayed, and you can see that the oldest age classes are represented by dark green. Now, using the period arrows on the top, we can walk through the periods, and you can see that an amount of around 20% of the forest will always remain in the oldest age class. A second method to check these results as well as other results is to generate text files. To be able to do so, we first have to append the Report Constraints Grid module in the configuration window. We open our configuration, then right-click into the white area and select Append. From the appearing list, we choose Report Constraint Grid and choose OK. We save the changes to our configuration by closing the according window, and then we carry out a new run with our changes, and you can already see that in this window on the left here, the selection constraint grid has been added. To generate our report as text file, we have to click the according box. Under Fields, we can select what information Atlas should write into our text file. From bottom to top, we choose Stand Groups, Growth 1, and last but not least, User End. After choosing our desired outputs, we initiate the run. We double-click on the constraint grid text information on top, and a notepad window should open that contains our report as a text file. In our text file, the first column is the period, followed by each stand group. For stand group 1, fur, the minimum old cereal was 20%, and this target value appears just before 0. The following rows show the percentage of 180 plus year old stands by area in each period. The minimum target of 20% is not reached until period 7, so no harvesting of stand group 1 fur occurred before this period.